So let's have a walkthrough of VAT under the automate system. So first, we will create invoices. So under business module, sales, we create an invoice. So let's say our invoice date is February 1, 2025, and then our contact. So let's say we are selling some papers, and then this is other merchandise, quantity of 10 and 100 each. Now, you have a choice of either the 100 is VAT exclusive or VAT inclusive. So let's say this is VAT exclusive. So this 10 times 100 or 1000 is without VAT yet. So we can set our VAT here using this drop down icon. It's either 12% VS, that is 12% variable sale, 0% ZS, 0% zero rated sale, and 0% ES for exempt sale. So let's assume it's 12% VATable. So the total amount now will change together with a 12% VAT. So it is now total 1,120. So 1,000, which is 10 times 100 plus the 12% VAT of 120, it's now 1,120. And after we finished inputting the necessary details, we can now generate preview. Let's just change our due date to Feb 25. We generate preview. And once we generate preview, we can save and next. Therefore, we have already recorded one invoice. Let's record another invoice. It's now February 2, due date still February 25. Still the same client. Now let's make it VAT exclusive. So let's say you are selling band papers. It's still the classification code is other merchandise, quantity is 5, and the rate is 60. So that is 300. We assume now that the 300 is VAT inclusive. So we will just choose VAT inclusive and then set again the VAT, either 12%, 0%, or 0% ZS or 0% ES. Let's assume it's 12% VS. So it is a VATable sale. And then we generate preview. If you look into it, from the total of 300, it did not change because the 300 is already inclusive of VAT. So the system automatically computed the VAT. That is 300 divided by 1.12. So it's 32.14. So we generate preview and then save and next. So by now, we have created two invoices, one VAT exclusive, one VAT inclusive. Now, let's create another invoice to record the ZS and the ES, or the zero rated sale, and then the ES. So let's record it February 3, due on February or today. So now, let's say pens, other merchandise, uh 20 at 5 each. Let's say it's 0% CS. Let's have another item. Notebook, other merchandise. Let's say the quantity is 15 at 3 each. Let's place it 0% AS. So by now, we have already recorded all types of sales, either zero rated, exempt, and then variable sales. For variable sales, we both have exclusive and inclusive. And then if you look into here, we have also our VAT summary. So we generate preview and then sorry about that. Save and next. So if we go into our sales, We have recorded three sales already for our three invoices. One is vatable, another is vatable, and then lastly we have zero rated and exempt sale. So now let's record the purchase under business function, and then purchases, we record the bill. So under record bill, we place our bill number and then the bill date, let's say February 4, and the due date is February 28, our supplier. And then we now add some items. So let's say we purchase paper, which is another merchandise. And then the quantity is 50, uh, let's say 75 per item. So that will give us 3,750 all in all, or 3,750. So since it is VAT exclusive, we need to place our VAT, but also we need to set our currency. This should be a PHP currency, and then VAT exclusive, and then we place our VAT. To set our VAT from the drop down icon, we have either 12% domestic purchases, 12% for services rendered by non-residents, 12% for importations, uh, exempt domestic purchases or non-vatable domestic purchases, exempt purchases, and exempt importations. So let's say we have 12% domestic purchase. So since it is exclusive, on top of our 3,750 amount, we have a VAT amount of 450. So a total of 4,200. So that is for a VAT inclusive purchase. So once we set the VAT, we can now save and exit. So we already recorded one bill. So again, we record another bill. So let's say we have this bill and the bill date is February 5. The due date is Feb 28. Same supplier. And then we now place it as VAT inclusive. So let's say books. We purchase books, classification code, other merchandise. And then the quantity is 10 at 1,000 each. So let's say it is VAT inclusive. Do not forget to change your currency just in case. So let's set it at PHP. So the 1,000 rate is inclusive of VAT. So we need to remove the VAT from there. So to remove the VAT, we just need to set our VAT. So let's say that is 12% domestic purchase. So meaning out of the 10,000, we have their inclusive of VAT, which is 1,071.43. So in our VAT summary, from 10,000 total amount, we divide it to 1.12 to get for the amount times 12% for the VAT amount of 1,071.43. So that is how we set if ever it is inclusive. And again, do not forget to set your VAT code. After that, we just need to save and exit. So we have now two purchase bills. So if you still remember, we have recorded three sales transactions, and then now we recorded two purchase transactions. So to see our VAT, let's see for February, we go to reports, and then under the transaction module, we have here Philippine Sales Tax Report and Philippine Purchase Tax Report. So once we click Philippine Sales Tax Report, the details of our sales tax relating to our three invoices will be shown here. And then it is grouped per tax code. So let's say we will just get from February 1, I know, let's just change this one from February 1 to Feb 26. So it will show you the different transactions per tax code. So if you still remember, we recorded 12% vatable sales and then 0% zero rated sales. And we also recorded exempt sales. So the amount, including the VAT amount and the grand total is shown here. Also, we can group this per transaction. So when we say per transaction, per type of transaction, so here we have invoice 1, 2, and 3. So we have here our total, the VAT amount, the grand total, and it will now show the total for the 12% vatable sale, 0% zero rated sale, and 0% exempt sale. So at the top, the grand total is shown. But for tax code, it is lump per item and the different invoices per tax code. So that is for our sales tax report. Next, we also have our purchase tax report. So under our purchase tax report, it will show you the different items of purchases with VAT depending on the period. So let's say our period is February 1, 2025 to February 26, 2025. So these are the amounts. So if you still remember, we have recorded two purchase earlier. We have 3750 and 8928. This is net of VAT. And then this is the amount of our VAT. Then this is the grand total. Again, this is pursuant to our tax code. Now we have our transaction. So our transaction, it is now grouped depending on whether it is part of domestic purchases, exempt domestic purchases, or non-vatable domestic purchases, exempt purchases, services rendered by non-residents, importations, exempt importations. And the total amount will be placed here. Okay, so that is for our purchase tax report. Now, as part of the taxation here in the Philippines, we are required to file DAT for our summary list of sales and purchases. So for sales, we have here our module sales VAT report DAT file. So you just need to input the date. So let's say February 1, 2025 to February 26, 2025. And then we will now generate our DAT file. So the system will generate our DAT file. So automatically it will be downloaded. Once it is downloaded, it is now placed under generated. So if you will ask, where will we find our generated? Earlier, we only have the details to generate the details of our DAT file for the month of February. And then for our history tab, you will see the DAT files that were generated and ultimately filed. So when will it be filed? We can file it by clicking into our action button and then we click update status. From our update status, we place who filed and the filing date, and we upload document. So here it could you need to place your supporting document. So let's say this is our supporting document, and then we just click submit. So, okay, it is already placed here. It could be PDF, it could be an image. Then we click submit. Once we submit it, what happens is that from the generated item, it will be automatically transferred in the filed item. So that is for our sales VAT report DAT file. Now, again on the reports dashboard, go to the module purchase VAT report DAT file, and then we will just click our DAT file from January 1, 2020, no, February 1, 2025 up to Feb 26, 2025. And then we will now generate the DAT file, and the DAT file will be generated. So again, once it is generated, it will be placed under History tab. And from the History tab, you can just download this one, download the DAT file, download the Excel file, or you could update the status or delete it. So assuming you incorrectly generated no one, you could delete it. By the way, this action button is applicable to both purchases and sales VAT report DAT file. So let's say again we incorrectly generated it, so we could delete it. So once we delete it, then it will be removed under generated. So we can again regenerate one. So let's generate. So it is now generated. Again, automatically it will be downloaded. If you want to see it in Excel, then you can also download the Excel file. So as you can see, we have here our Excel file. Also, still, if you already filed it, you can just update the status, the user, the date, and then you can upload the supporting document that it was already uploaded. And then we just click submit, and then it's done. Once it is filed from generated, again, it will be transferred to filed. Okay. So if we try to look at it, we have here an input VAT um with a total amount of 1521.43 from our two purchases earlier. That's for purchase VAT report. And for sales VAT report for February, we have a total amount of output VAT of 152.14. So, aside from filing your DAT using Automate, we also have here a module to create the BIR form 2550Q. So you just click the module BIR form 2550Q, and then we click the inclusive date. So let's say our inclusive date is only February 1 to Feb 26. But normally it should be a quarter, but for purposes of demonstration, let's just make use of the dates we earlier placed. So February 1 and February 26. So you click generate new form, and then let's say it's a calendar year ended December 31, 2024, December 31, 2025, and then our quarter is first quarter. So our return period is February 1, 2025 to Feb 28, 2025. So no tax relief availment, and then the data will be provided by the system. So we have here our total sales earlier with an output VAT of 152.14, and our purchases earlier with input tax of 1521.43. So if ever you have uncollected receivable, you can manually input it here. Recovered uncollected receivables, you can input it here. Also, your input tax on capital goods, you can input it here. VAT exempt sale, VAT refund, input VAT on unpaid payables, and input VAT on settled unpaid payables. So all these items with a rectangular shape with zero amounts can be editable. And then the system will automatically compute for our net VAT payable. So assuming we have a creditable VAT withheld amounting to 10, and then advanced VAT payments of 100, and then VAT paid in previous return, let's say none. So automatically the system will also update it. So negative 1369.29 less 10 less 100 will give us negative 1479.29. If there is a surcharge, you can just place the surcharge here. The interest, you just can place it here. And the compromise, you can just place it here. And automatically the system will compute for the tax due. And once the system can or system already computed your tax due, we can generate our BIR form already. So a model or confirmation model will be shown, which tells you that this system successfully generated the BIR form. So to look into our BIR forms, we can go back to our dashboard. So we have here our BIR form 2550Q. As you can see, we already have here our BIR form earlier. We just created. So that is for the first quarter. And now we can preview this form. Just click the preview. And a pop-up will be shown for the preview of our form. Okay, so now we have our form here for calendar ending 2025, first quarter period we set earlier, whether it's amended return or not, short period return, and then we have now the details. So earlier we placed these details. So to compute 409.29 excess VAT. So the details will be automatically placed here by the system. Now, once you review this one and this is correct, you can file it to the BIR, or you could just again delete it or you can download it, or you could edit it. So assuming you incorrectly place the amount of advance payment, so let's say this is only 50, so it should be now 359.29. Just click update, and it is now updated. So let's check now. Let's just refresh this one. So here now is the updated one. So we can preview. So now it is updated at 359.29. Once completed again, you can just download it and file it. But if you want to delete it, then click delete, and this particular item will be deleted. So that's all for the walkthrough for VAT. Again, for the transactions, you can record it through sales, and then you set the VAT. For purchases, you can place it under purchases, under business model or business function, and then we record bill and set the VAT. For the reports, it's under reports, under transaction module. We have here our Philippine Sales Tax Report, Philippine Purchase Tax Report, Sales VAT Report DET file, Purchase VAT Report DET file, and BIR Form 2550Q.